going? Robert here with another Fast Gun Minute. Now, the history of gun laws in America has actually had a racist and classist past, okay? They've always been designed to separate either white from black and bar black people from having guns, or to separate the rich from poor and the poor from having guns, okay? This is actually predates the continental United States. In the year 1664, the colony of Virginia actually passed laws that stated that no African American who was free from slavery, would be able to have the right to bear arms, okay? Following this up, in the year 1751, the French actually passed black codes. What these were laws that barred black people, and even stated that if you see a black person with anything, even if it's a cane, you have the right to shoot them on sight, okay? In the year 1790s, there was a Haitian revolution in which the Haitian slaves overthrew the French. The French upped the pressure that they had on their American colonies and blacks, and upped the right to shoot to kill on sight. In the year 1831, we have the Nat Turner Rebellion, in which 70 slaves overthrew and killed about 50 whites. In that same year, 1831, the amount of states that started upping laws was ridiculous. The state of Delaware had the first law of its kind, in which it stated that African Americans actually needed a license to own a firearm. White people didn't need that, but African Americans did. Following, in the year 1848, we have the case of Cooper versus the city of Savannah in the state of Georgia, in which the law stated that African Americans were never seen as citizens of the United States and thus didn't have the right to the Constitution and the right to bear arms, okay? In the year 1857, the Dred Scott case, where the Supreme Court stated the exact same thing, that African Americans were never citizens and did not have the rights of such. In the year 1879, something interesting happened in the state of Tennessee. They noticed that a lot of guns were being made for cheap and that the poor class was actually attaining those guns and arming themselves. What they did was they passed the Army and Navy law. What this was that people could only own guns that were used by the Army and the Navy, so military weapons. People could only own those guns. It separated the class system in which poor people were now unable to thoroughly protect themselves. Okay, famously in the year 1911, New York passed the Sullivan Law, which was the first of its kind, in which it said that in order to obtain a firearm, you actually needed police permission in order to do so. And once again, this separated the class system between the poor. At that time, there were a lot of immigrants that were moving to New York, and they were thought of as lower class, so that's why they passed these laws. Understanding that the laws in America and gun laws, even up to date, are due to separate the class system of today, but have a history of being racist and separating black people. That's your